What if I told you that the biggest economic event of 2026 isn't a stock market rally, a government stimulus package, or a major technology breakthrough? It's a soccer tournament. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is not just the largest sporting event in history, it's also one of the largest economic experiments ever conducted across North America. For the first time, the World Cup is being hosted by three countries: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. For the first time, 48 national teams are competing instead of 32. For the first time, 104 matches are being played across 16 cities. And according to multiple economic studies, the tournament could generate more than $40 billion in global GDP impact, create hundreds of thousands of jobs, attract millions of visitors, and transform entire regions economically. But there is another side to this story. Many economists warn that the actual benefits may be much smaller than the headlines suggest. So what is the real economic impact of the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Who wins? Who loses? And will the tournament leave a lasting legacy long after the final whistle blows? Let's find out. The biggest World Cup ever. To understand the economic impact, we first need to understand the scale. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is unlike any tournament before it. The event features 48 teams, 104 matches, 16 host cities, millions of traveling fans, billions of television viewers worldwide. FIFA expects the tournament to become the largest and most profitable World Cup in history. Revenue for FIFA's current cycle is projected to reach approximately $13 billion, nearly double previous records. This isn't simply a sports tournament anymore. It's a global business machine. Every ticket sold, every hotel booked, every flight purchased, every meal eaten, every advertisement watched, all of it contributes to a massive economic ecosystem. The money flows in. The biggest economic driver of the World Cup is tourism. Fans from around the world travel to host cities to watch matches, visit attractions, eat at local restaurants, and stay in local hotels. Economic forecasts suggest the tournament could attract more than 1 million international visitors to the United States alone. Tourism spending is expected to account for more than half of all tournament-related economic activity. Think about what happens when a fan arrives in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Dallas, or Seattle. They need hotels, transportation, food, entertainment, shopping, tourist experiences. Multiply that spending by millions of visitors. The numbers become enormous. Vacation rental bookings have already surged dramatically in many host cities, with some locations experiencing increases of more than 50%. Hotels, airlines, rideshare companies, restaurants, and retailers are among the biggest beneficiaries. For many businesses, the World Cup represents the most profitable period in years. Job creation. Another major promise of the World Cup is employment. Large sporting events require massive workforces: security personnel, transportation workers, hospitality staff, event organizers, construction workers, media professionals, food vendors, medical teams, technology specialists. Economic projections estimate the tournament could create more than 823,000 jobs worldwide and approximately 185,000 jobs in the United States alone. Some jobs are temporary, others may become permanent. Host cities are hiring workers for stadium operations, tourism services, transportation management, fan zones, and event logistics. For many young workers, students, and service industry employees, the World Cup offers a rare opportunity to participate in one of the largest sporting events ever organized. The winners. Not every industry benefits equally. Some sectors are positioned to make billions. Hospitality hotels may be among the biggest winners. Millions of visitors require accommodations, driving occupancy rates and room prices higher than normal. Airlines. International travel demand is expected to surge. Airlines benefit from increased passenger volume and premium pricing during the tournament. Restaurants. Fans spend heavily on food and beverages. Restaurants in host cities can experience record sales during major match days. Retail. Jerseys, souvenirs, sports merchandise. Consumer spending rises dramatically around major sporting events. Media. Television networks and digital platforms generate enormous advertising revenue from billions of viewers worldwide. The host cities. Perhaps the biggest economic question is what happens to the cities hosting matches? Each host city hopes to receive a major financial boost. New York and New Jersey project approximately $3.3 billion in economic activity from the tournament. Other regions, such as Los Angeles, Houston, Kansas City, Miami, Seattle, Atlanta, Boston, and the Bay Area, are also forecasting substantial gains through tourism and business activity. For city leaders, the World Cup is more than a sporting event. It's a global marketing campaign. Millions of viewers will see these cities showcased on television. That exposure can influence future tourism, investment, and business decisions for years. The hidden costs. But here is where the story becomes complicated. Not everyone agrees that the World Cup is an economic goldmine. Many economists warn that projections are often overly optimistic. Why? Because hosting isn't free. Cities spend enormous amounts on security, transportation, traffic management, emergency services, public infrastructure, event operations. Some of these expenses are paid by taxpayers. Others are covered by local governments. And while revenues receive headlines, costs often receive much less attention. Experts argue that much of the spending attributed to the World Cup would have occurred anyway. Instead of creating entirely new economic activity, the tournament may simply shift spending from one area to another. Tourism risks. There are also concerns that tourism projections may not fully materialize. Some analysts report softer than expected hotel demand in certain markets. High ticket prices, expensive travel costs, and global economic uncertainty may discourage some international visitors. In other words, not every seat on every flight is guaranteed. Not every hotel room will be occupied. Not every forecast will come true. Economic expectations remain strong, but uncertainty remains part of the equation. The long-term legacy. The most important question may not be how much money is earned during the tournament. The real question is what happens afterward. Will visitors return? Will businesses invest? Will tourism increase? Will cities become more globally recognized? Experts argue that the greatest value may come from long-term branding rather than immediate spending. When billions of people watch matches from Miami, Los Angeles, Dallas, New York, Seattle, and other host cities, those locations gain international visibility that traditional advertising could never buy. That visibility can influence future tourism, international investment, corporate relocations, convention business, global reputation. For many cities, this legacy may prove more valuable than ticket sales alone. The workers behind the event. While fans focus on the matches, thousands of workers make the tournament possible. Security staff, food service workers, medical personnel, transportation crews, volunteers, maintenance teams. Many labor organizations have raised concerns about worker safety, particularly in host cities facing extreme summer temperatures. Heat exposure has become a significant issue as the tournament takes place during some of the hottest months of the year. This reminds us that the World Cup is not only an entertainment event, it's also a massive logistical operation involving hundreds of thousands of people. Conclusion. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is expected to be the largest sporting event ever held. Supporters believe it will generate billions of dollars in economic activity, create jobs, attract tourists, and elevate host cities onto the global stage. Estimates suggest approximately $17 billion in economic impact for the United States and over $40 billion globally. Critics argue that many benefits are overstated and that hosting costs, inflated projections, and temporary gains may limit the long-term payoff. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. What is certain is that for 1 month in 2026, the eyes of the world will be fixed on North America. And when the final whistle blows, the economic impact of this historic tournament will continue to be debated for years to come. Because this World Cup is about far more than soccer. It's about money, power, tourism, jobs, global influence, and the future of the sports economy itself. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to Global News for more in-depth reports on world events, economics, and the stories shaping our future. Thanks for watching.